Hi, my name's Mrs. Brown, and I'm here so that you can put a face to a name. I haven't met many of our Year 8 parents, so hopefully you can see we have spoken in a lot of occasions, so you can see what I do look like. I'm going to together my contact details for you. As it says, I'm head of both Year 8 and 9, and my email contact is written below or in front of you, and the telephone contact if you need to get hold of me or if there's anything you would like to discuss, having been through your tutors first. Tonight, I'm going to front the information that will be given by our heads of, or our leaders of learning for maths, English, and science, and there will also be a contribution from computing from Mr. Duke. You will also have an opportunity to make an appointment to see your child's tutor, so that will be really helpful within the next couple of days. One of our main focuses within school is the SWR student. You'll see these three terms coming up significantly throughout the presentation. And we're looking in the terms of aspiration, resilience and collaboration. I won't read them all out for you, but we're hoping to create and work in support of you as the families and within school, the children that are capable of making some really good choices and to enjoy school to the maximum and taking the opportunities that are available to them. The other thing that we would really like to accentuate in that context is that the attendance and punctuality. Every day missed is vital to a child, and therefore we need to encourage to the maximum that children should be in school. We are looking towards 100% attendance, and we do reward that either in a trip out when we can or an event within school, which is really good. There is a number there that you should ring should your child be poorly. And please make sure that you do ring in on every day of that absence so that we are aware of what is happening. If you don't ring in and your child is absent, then we will contact you to check on the whereabouts of that child. Now, obviously, we're really aware at the moment that things are a little bit more complicated, but communication is the key. If you could make the medical appointments outside of the school day, that would be amazing. But again, we do recognise people like the orthodontists, opticians, etc., offer very little choice. And therefore, if you would just let us know when that was happening and to enable us to support your child when they need to leave or that they can pick up the work that they have missed. Okay, a few bits of information that you might need to know. All information, all homework is actually being put up onto Teams, and it should be dated and should be clarified. There is a homework club which is available both Monday and Thursday after school. So that can be in support of your children if they're struggling to get that homework done at home, or there may be an issue with accessing certain information from home. There's some information there on how you might download Teams. I won't read that out. That's fairly straightforward. But please, could you make sure that if your child has a query with reference to their homework, that it's actually that they ask that question days before that homework is due in, not necessarily on the day, giving everybody the opportunity to get things in on time, etc. Okay, here's another factor that is really important and very relevant. And actually, everybody's making a huge effort with this at the moment. And that is the uniform. Okay, we have a standard uniform and the clarity is there. The tie is part of that uniform. The year sevens, as I'm sure some of you may know, do have a different tie. They have a house tie. That is available for you to purchase in both year 8 and 9, but it's totally up to you as to whether or not you would choose to. But the uniform follows the normal procedures with the grey skirt. And please, may I suggest that when skirts are being worn, then no boots are worn on that occasion. Boots are fine when trousers are being worn, but no Dr. Martens or heeled boots or higher boots whilst skirts are being worn. Okay, thank you for that. Your support in that is really graciously appreciated. And we do have our PE kit, which is all available. And I've got to say that at the moment that is looking amazing. So that's really good to see. There is a minimum expectation of equipment, and so please ensure that your children are coming into school with everything that they need to complete their day, including everything that is required within their pencil case and their school bag. Fairly straightforward. One thing that you can get the math sets if you choose to, but it is important that they should have a calculator. And another a significant expectation is a reading book, because there is a period of time through a day where children may be expected to read in silence to enable them to settle and be ready to learn. So the reading book is essential as part of our daily routine. And your support with that is really greatly appreciated. We also have a house system. You'll have been aware of that, but last year we gained an extra house, which is really exciting because we're obviously gaining in size, which is great for us. The 4 houses are Andromeda, Hydra, Pegasus and Orion. And each tutor group, there are 4 in year 8 and 4 in year 9, represents one of those houses. The children will be familiar with that because they represented their houses within Sports Day last year. And they've also attended in person a house assembly, which went down really, really well at the beginning of this term. The house system is really relevant when it comes to being part of the school and being part of some of the activities. There will be frequent house competitions. At the moment, there's a smile competition. There's also a competition to collaborate all of the 4 images of the 4 houses, which is really good. Plus, they frequently get the opportunity to represent their house in sporting competitions. So it's a nice thing to bring that whole tutor group together, making things a little bit more of a team effort, which, as we've mentioned earlier, is quite collaborative, which is what we're looking to for these children to enable them to have those opportunities. You will also be aware of a grading system that comes home on the school reports, and that is the Attitude to Learning. That is a very significant document, and there is reference made to that throughout this year, which is relevant to your children's progress within school. We will also look at it when the children receive their interim grades, of which there will be 3 throughout the year. Now you'll see they're graded 1 to 5, okay, and that is not in confusion of the GCSE grades. That is how we're labelling, if you like, their performance within that subject throughout that term or over that period of time. 1 being outstanding is exceptional and actually difficult to achieve, as it should be. And the clarity of the definition is very clearly written on that slide for you. I won't go all the way through that, but you'll be looking to be able to support your children and have a clearer understanding as to what that grade means and what your child might need to do to kind of up that opportunity to be able to feel good about how they're doing at school. As you are all very much aware, the mobile phones are not allowed within the school building at all. So if they're outside at break and lunch, then they may use their mobile phones with the expectation that they are put away before they enter the building. As they come into the building, if they are seen, they are reminded to put that phone away. We take no responsibility for a loss or damage of the phone, as it is a child's choice as to whether or not they would choose to bring that in. They may keep it safely in their bags, and some of them will have lockers to enable them to keep them safely in their locker as well during the day if they choose to. Okay, but it's really important to the extent that, yes, I understand why children would need them to get to and from school, but the security of them and the looking after them is the responsibility of the children, which is really important. And we also need to make sure that none of them are seen within the school day, within the school building. Thank you so much for your support with that too. And on a really happy note, we do a thing called the random raffle. And that brings us back to aspiration, resilience and collaboration. And there's a brief outline as to what each one means for SWR and how we move on and encourage the children to think about these 3 different aspects. So every week we concentrate on one of these, and the tutor will issue the students with raffle tickets. And that then enables the child to potentially win a prize at the end of each of the small terms. The prizes are allocated per tutor group, which is great, and meaning that everybody has their opportunity to win. Then nothing massive, but it is just something where children are rewarded for really nice behaviours and enthusiastic attitudes and everything else that comes hopefully within that SWR student role. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to have a look at this presentation. I hope you've got to know me a little bit better or got to see me a little bit better. I have tremendous pleasure to be the head of year for your children. I'm very, very strong on communication, which I hope the children know, and I work very closely with the tutors that are working with your children. So thank you for your time, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of the presentations from my colleagues. Thank you.